ladies and gentlemen, say hello to your destination for daily home inspiration. Big round of applause, please. Don't know where to stand. So while decorating our homes, we all love taking inspiration from designs around the world and incorporating a little of ourselves into it. Beautiful homes, and finally, we have the eclectic and supremely talented. Let's give it up for Kalki Koechlin, who needs no introduction, of course.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
So let's give our panel one big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And Sonia, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody, and thank you for taking time out to be with us at our special moment today. When I was approached for this opportunity to be a part of the launch team of Beautiful Homes, it felt like homecoming. Having been a very intrinsic part of the industry for over 15 years, first as former publishing director of El Deco India, I've seen this segment grow from very, very close quarters. And I'm only too happy to be a part of Beautiful Homes taking baby steps in this dynamic landscape. So thank you all for coming.
So I did this film earlier this year called A Death in the Gunj by Konkona Sen Sharma. She directed it. And it's set in the 1970s. So the decor had this very vintage, old wooden furniture. It was set in a small Anglo-Indian town called Makhlaski Ganj, which is somewhere in Jharkhand now. And so really beautiful, old world, like 70s. And I'm like deep down, I think, flower child, hippie, you know, somehow got into this world of Bollywood. But yeah, so for me, that's an inspiration, and I definitely think it's influenced my house.
Nice. Speaking of Bollywood, I think in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, you played an interior designer. What did you reference?
Yes, Natasha, the interior designer in Zindagi. I think she was about specificity and perfection. There's a scene where Abhay Deol says something like, she says to him, should I choose the pink or the blue? And he's like, jo bhi chahiye. And she's like, oh, how can you say that? Like, this is a huge decision. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is. I think, you know, it's the place you're going to live in. And yeah, Natasha was quite the perfectionist.
That's nice. Ashish, you are clearly the go-to man for all Bollywood stars. Well, most of them. So, do you take your inspiration from celluloid?
Well, why not? You know, I think certain films are made beautifully, and as she said, it inspires people in different directions. I usually take inspirations from the people I work with because I think the home should be comfortable for them, and you know, be it a Hrithik or a Ranbir or whoever it is, it has to imbibe their character. So I think most of the references, for example, in Ranbir's house, we did this graffiti by Daku, which is of Charlie Chaplin, because Ranbir's great-grandfather, Raj Kapoor, is very inspired by that, and he wanted that representation. And so
it's iconic, yes.
Yeah, so there is that little bit of undertone, and then in Hrithik's house, we kind of did a Rauni Chor Bazaar and found a cover of LP, which is his father's first film with his grandfather and his uncle and all of that into it. And then we made that into a memento for the house, and it lies there. So it's kind of personal, but it's kind of celluloid.
So, do you want to share any incidents offline from any of these projects that you have done, which reveals your client's design quotient?
How is this offline?
Well, but tell us.
I mean, there are lots of incidences, and you know, I mean, I was not open to doing Bollywood homes earlier, but I think Ranbir was the one who kind of pushed me into this. Okay. And he called me and said, listen, I want you to do my house. And I said, look, you know, I can't, you know, it's not my style, what I see of homes there, you know. And he's like, no, let me just come to your office and explain to you what I want. When he came, he showed me references which are so on the ball for what we do. And I think we did the house, and he moved in, and the next day he calls me and says, Ashish, this is not a home, this is a holiday. And that was amazing, because no one's ever said that to me. To come back home to a holiday is just a great way to put it, you know.
Holiday, nice. So, three spaces that you would like to emulate and bring back into a house, Ashish. Yes.
Okay. Three spaces. I think, as I said, I work with a traveler's eye, and when you travel, you see things, and when I travel, I usually go to art galleries and museums around the world, and I kind of like the way things are put and lit. Lighting is very key, and I learned that through museums. So that would be one. Having this very pristine monastic white spaces makes me happy, and I like light filled. So how do you bring the light inside the house is really important for me. So that would be two. And color, and how do you bring in color to your house? Is it the Greek blue, or is it a Moroccan blue, or is it the Turkish, or is it the Italian blue? Like the correct shade of blue also is important. So that also comes through references of holidays.
Lovely, lovely. Mr. Singhal, I have a question for you. You've been mapping the market for over 25 years. Tell us more about the change in the consumer over the last many decades.
So I would say that today the change is just too much. I think customers are demanding the world today, because what we're finding is that it's no particular segmentation today. It's today you have micro segmentation which is happening. So within a segment you have another segment which comes into that extent. And therefore it's no longer a game of defining, saying that these are the four segments you want to kind of operate into, because each segment has multiple kind of combinations weaved into it. The today customers' inspiration is also kind of really getting very, very varied, because the type of influences and inspirations are very many. So Ashish just mentioned about travels. I think that's a huge inspiration which comes in. Today the net can kind of take you to the New Jersey, to Cambodia, to any place in the world, and kind of get your inspiration very strongly into your house to that extent, in terms of the type of explosion which is happening to that extent. And then there is this whole kind of very strong influence of my space, of my tradition, my roots, which come in, which kind of do a confluence in terms of, the contemporary and so on and so forth, in terms of how I want to weave that personality into the house to that extent. So I think today, how we define the customer, it's an ever-changing customer, both in terms of architectural styles and both in terms of decor. And even if you look at an area like color, while possibly it sounds very simplistic, I think it's very, very complex in terms of how I look at color and textures and materials which are coming in so much in terms of what customers are demanding. So I would say that in one word, that it is really a very complex deal in terms of what consumers are changing. And therefore, it's really challenging for any company to kind of really say that, can I get into a stereotype of really mapping segments and getting into those. So I think it's something which is amazing, which is happening these days. And it's something which we need to kind of see in terms of how we keep a tap of it.
Wow, wow. So moving on to something more fun, I'm going to have a rapid fire round.
Oh, God.
I'll go with you first, Kalki. What's your favorite part of the house?
My favorite part of the house is my bathtub.
Oh, lovely.
That's where I read most of my scripts, in between bubbles.
Okay, lovely. Most embarrassing home memory, if at all?
Embarrassing, what does that mean, that word? No, I've made some silly decisions, like, I'll knock down a wall and then realize that I need that wall,
Yes.
You know that kind of thing?
Yes.
For example, my bathroom has glass windows. So now I can't have anyone use my bathroom in my
room.
Yeah, I have to let them use the other bathroom.
Wow. Colors or whites?
Whites, I love white.
Traditional or contemporary?
Traditional, contemporary, traditional. I love both. I mix a lot, but I think more traditional than contemporary.
Okay. One must-have home essential.
I have this chaise longue.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I call it the therapy chair.
Yes.
Because you can put your feet up and
Yes.
lie there and talk about all your problems to whoever happens to be sitting opposite.
Lovely, lovely. I'll go with you, Ashish. Favorite part of the house?
Kitchen.
Nice. Do you cook?
No, but I love people cooking in my house.
being such an amazing panel and sharing such lovely information. And may I now request Shivani to take over.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Let's give our panel another round of applause. Some great answers there in the rapid fire. You did very well. We're going to open the floor now to any questions that you may have for our panel members. So do we have any questions in the audience? Yes, lady in the white there. Do we have a mic?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, so my question's for Sonia, and I wanted to know what inspired you to launch the e-magazine Beautiful Homes and what sets it apart from other home magazines?
Good one. Actually, what we wanted to do is really have a homegrown brand. There are a lot of fantastic magazines out there, but what we really wanted to do is have a homegrown brand which tells the India story and really maps this changing, evolving Indian consumer. So if you took a look at the launch, if you see the kind of people who have been profiled in it, are a lot of real people out there who are looking for information, who are looking for interesting ideas. So this is the new story that we would like to capture. And I guess that's what sets us apart.
Okay, thank you. Next question? Oh, right, okay. Yes?
My question's for Kalki. This event is all about inspiration. Who has been your inspiration as an actor and an activist?
Wow. As an actor, I have many inspirations. I think, in India, I grew up watching Smita Patil's films, Taboo's films. I think they're amazing actresses. Meryl Streep, Juliette Binoche. These are all actors which I find very inspiring. In terms of activists, my latest favorite activist friend is a lawyer in Delhi called Karuna Nandi. She came to me a few years ago with a Womanifesto, which was a manifesto about women's rights. And, she's been hounding the government about changing some of the laws for women. And she's really, really a trooper, and she's doing an amazing job. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question?
Hi, my question is for Ashish. Ashish, out of all the celebrity homes that you've designed, which project has been the most challenging for you? Like, care to share your experience?
Well, I don't know about challenging, but the most exciting and ongoing is Ritik's. I think that guy is really, really on the ball and very, very, very specific of what he wants. Be it a blue carpet, that particular shade of blue that he wants from his film set in Mohenjo-daro where he's doing Neil, and then we had to research that and give it to Rajasthan to dye it. And then living in the house and seeing that something doesn't work, and now let's rework on the house. And so I think he's phenomenal to work with, just to know as a person and how perfection can make you,
Thank you.
grow.
Thank you, Ashish. Any more questions?
Hi, my question's for Kalki. If you were to pick your ideal summer home, where would it be?
My ideal summer home? I already have an ideal summer home, which is my childhood home in Mudamalai, near Ooty. And it's in the middle of a forest where there's no phone network. There's hardly any electricity. And it's a beautiful 100-year-old house, which used to belong to Hermann Hesse's grandfather. And it's just very airy, quiet. It's a place for, reading, writing, thinking, preparing for my roles. Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
Wow.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And congratulations to the team for this beautiful launch. My question is for Kalki. Out of all your celebrity friends, whose house do you find the most beautiful and one reason why?
Wow. Out of everyone's house, I think Suzanne's taste is amazing. She's got a natural eye for things, and she has this airy fairy quality also, which she she always has like little details of like garden gnomes or fairies and things, which I find really quirky and nice.
Thank you.
All right, let's give our panel one more round of applause. Thank you to Kalki, Ashish, Amit, and Sonia for being here and for that engaging panel discussion. I would also like to thank members of the press, our blogging fraternity that was here today, for joining us to celebrate our latest digital offering, and of course to Phoenix for being such wonderful hosts. So on that note, thank you all, and thank you for being such a wonderful audience. Thank you for being here, and good evening, good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, can we just, can we just all stand together for a picture? Yeah, one second. Yes, just one more. We'll just stand sideways so that we can get you all with the house. Yeah, sure. Yeah, perfect. She can stand there. You can. Oh, yeah, we can do something like that. Like what? Everybody, like she can stand there. One of you all can sit. Yeah. We can take a nice picture. That's it. Yeah. Lovely.
We can have a conversation.
Yes, we can have a conversation. Click, guys. Killer. This is nice.
Good.
Just a second.
close up.
Just a moment, Kalki.
Yes, sir. Who's late?
Okay. Kalki, looking gorgeous as always.
Thank you.
Tell us about your association with Beautiful Homes.
So this is my first association with Beautiful Homes, and well, I just bought myself a beautiful home this year for the first time. I have a house of my own, and it's a very exciting thing, of course. And I think what's great about Beautiful Homes is they really make it personal. They really work towards getting you your home according to your personality, and it's affordable. It's for the common person, and it's like a one-point stop where you can do everything. So it's really hard to get a home together because there's so many different aspects that go into it. There's a contractor, there's an electrician, there's a painter, there's this, there's that, and this is one stop where you can find all of it.
So your dream home is all set and all ready.
My dream home, yeah, I guess I've always wanted the dream home to be like in a mountain somewhere with horses running around, but वो नहीं होगा अभी. But as far as life in Bombay is concerned, yes, my 2 BHK is perfect. It's home. I love it. I'm happy there.
Who in Bollywood do you think has the best of house?
Who in Bollywood? I think Suzanne Roshan has a beautiful place. She has great taste. And yeah, I can't think who else. I mean, Shah Rukh's house is very extravagant and stunning. But yeah, I guess we all have different tastes. I think Radhika Apte, my friend, has a very small but stunning, beautiful house.
And professionally, what's keeping you busy these days? Because
Tell
after
me.
Margarita with the Straw, the kind of expectation from Kalki has decreased.
Oh dear, waiting was not good.
Still, we are waiting for it.
Waiting आ गए, निकल गए.
ठीक है, वो अच्छी थी, but उसके
ठीक है.
बाद भी
अभी मामी फेस्टिवल में 2 फिल्म्स हो रही है. Please go and watch them. One is A Death in the Gunj, Konkana's directorial debut, and the other is Mantra, a film with me and Rajat Kapoor, and it's directed by Nicholas Kharkonger. 2 very beautiful, very different films. And then I'm starting a film right now called Ribbon with Sumit Vyas. So I'm busy, yeah. So yeah, wait for it. They're coming out soon.
You have been part of Bollywood for a couple of years now. Just wanted to have your reaction to it. Some people are banning Pakistan films just with Pakistani actors here, and some are against it, some are in favor of it. Your views to it?
I don't want to add to this, the fuel to this fire, because I think it's been going on for a long time. I personally think that we live in an international world. We have Indians living all over the world. If we asked all those NRIs to come back to India, we'd have nowhere to put them. So similarly, if there are guests from other countries living in our world, in our country, and myself included, I'm of French origin but born and brought up in India. Where do I belong? If I don't belong in this country, I don't know where I belong. So I think it's very important to understand that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.